Hi, I'm Heather Haywood, and I'm tuned to the Drive Time Show with Wimbo and Naturally Lily on allflavasradio.com. Woo! Go there, girls!
If you're searching for that one person who will change your life forever, look in the mirror.
A pleasant good evening to everyone out there in All Flavors Land. How are you all doing on this rather interesting Tuesday evening? It's very wet, then very dry, then very sunny. All weathers in at once today. I am Wimbo77.
And I am Naturally Lily.
Naturally Lily literally has just stepped into the building, so she's just getting herself together. And wow, I must say that it has been rather busy day. Has it been a busy day for you, Lily?
Yep.
It has. Wow. But you made it in time.
I wouldn't say that. I feel like I need a bit more time. But
Oh, wow. I'm sorry about that. So, hello, chat room crew. Hello, WhatsApp crew, Facebook crew, worldwide crew, tuning crew, and all of you silent listeners today. So, yes, welcome to the Let's Talk Drive Time show. Today we've got quite a bit to be getting on with. And we're starting off with the questions for your listeners is, how can we be happy with our body, and would you consider cosmetic surgery, as well as will racism ever be eliminated? Yeah, because this question was posed in the Facebook chat and it blew up, that second question. It's quite interesting, some of the comments as to what has been said there. Big shout out to DJ Charlie Muir, as well as DJ Mark Philogene and DJ Slim. How are you all doing? Great show yesterday, Mark Philogene, as well as Charlie. You can catch Charlie on a Monday, and also DJ Slim on a Monday, and Mark, did I say Mark Philogene just now?
Yeah.
And Mark Philogene on a Monday. So, the National Day. What I thought today, Lily, was that it is the 6th of July.
Right.
It is the 6th of July. But the day tomorrow, I think it held so much sentiment, as well as I thought it was really quite apt for the times that we live in these days.
Yeah.
And a lot of us we hold on to things. So today, on July the 6th, it was the 187th day of the year in the Georgian calendar. And on this day, the US Congress unanimously resolves the name of US currency to the dollar, as well as adopting the decimal coinage. And then Louis Pasteur successfully tested animals for the anti-rabies vaccine. Again, vaccines there. And the California passed the first no-fault divorce law. I didn't know what that no-fault divorce law was. Was it like someone's fault or?
Yeah, so I think with divorce, there has to be someone responsible for the divorce. So someone might, they say irreconcilable differences or due to adultery or whatever. I'm assuming that something like the irreconcilable differences would come under the no-fault law. So it's no one's fault why they want to get divorced. They just want a divorce.
Yeah, okay. So that was passed on this day, as well as George W. Bush's birthday and the 14th Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
And today's National Fried Chicken Day. So I don't know. We didn't have chicken today.
I didn't have anything today.
Oh, I cooked, so it's fine. You can have something there. And it's also...
Again?
Yes, I know, but it was National Kissing Day last week, was it?
It's International Kissing Day.
Oh, no, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago was National Kissing Day.
Well, obviously people like to have a good kiss.
Like a bit of a smooch.
Yeah, so it's International Kissing Day. However, tomorrow is National Forgiveness Day. And wow... I'm very impressed with, the fact that there is a day for forgiveness. So we don't need to be told that holding on to anger is bad for us.
Yeah.
That's why Global Forgiveness Day is celebrated on July the 7th. And each year it's so special to us. Established to increase the goodwill amongst people, Global Forgiveness Day asks everyone to try and set their differences aside and create a world full of healing and letting go of negativity. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I was reading something the other day and it said, I want to, what was it? Repair and remember and repair, not forgive and forget. And I thought that's an interesting concept because we're told to forgive and forget. You know, someone does something to you, just forgive them and just forget about it. But then it was the repair part that I saw. Because if you forgive someone and just forget about it, have you healed yourself?
And that's one of the most important parts, isn't it? Because we spoke about forgiving parents a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we come to the conclusion it does start with us forgiving ourselves for perhaps feeling the way that we did. And that's part of the healing.
Yeah.
When we do look inwardly as opposed to outwardly and perhaps what someone's kind of done to us. And like it says, it's about letting go of the negativity, because some of us, we get so wrapped up inside of our heads that maybe we've done something wrong to someone or they've done something wrong to us, and we can hold on to that.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, as well as just saying, do you know what? I'm just going to forgive and let it go. Like you said, repair?
Repair and remember.
And remember, yeah. So the history of global forgiveness then, it's a concept of pardoning someone after an offence. Yeah, letting go of negative emotions and releasing the hurt. And that's the hardest thing as well. When we don't forgive, we hold on. Don't you find that, if we hold on to a grudge or something like that, it kind of... we feel it inside of your body. Yeah. Would you say?
Yeah, I think it festers if you don't. But then there's that come under not forgetting, because if you're allowing, every time I move, if you're allowing it to fester, you haven't forgotten about the situation.
Yeah,
because it's very difficult to forget about something that's hurt you.
But it's speaking or highlighting to us about forgiving, and being forgiving. And when you forgive, I think that it is important to forget as well.
But not just forgive,
and let it go.
Not just forgive that person, to forgive yourself for holding on to that kind of feeling of anger. Because if you've held on to that resentment and that frustration and that anger for so long, you've put yourself at risk. You put yourself in that position, so you have to forgive yourself as well. And
it does make that point that people that forgive, that they don't get as ill as people that hold on to the resentment. So it says there that releasing the hurt has always been a key principle of forgiveness is a key principle of every religion around the world. And the teachings from these religions highlight the nature of forgiveness and have provided a basis for the modern traditions and practices used to forgive. While philosophers have studied the concept of forgiveness, the emotion was primarily related to matters of faith. So more sort of, I guess, amongst religious people. But then,
I feel like religious people are the worst people for forgiving.
Yeah.
Because they're the first people to judge. They're the first people to, all them years ago, this person, and they're always remembering someone's downfall or something that person did to them years ago. I find it's all well and good saying you have the faith, but like we just said there, it's part of a religious thing to forgive. So
and it's everything in practice as well, isn't it? It's like practicing these things, and that's the hardest part, I think, is yes, we say, all right, forgive, and then tomorrow the practice, when we have to literally put it into motion, are we able to do it? Are we able to do it? So let's have a look. It says global forgiveness timeline. So there's lots of times that people were forgiven on this timeline. And there's some facts. So forgive the ones who hurt you. Yeah. So there's what are the steps to forgiveness? Okay. And these are the ones. Forgive the ones who hurt you.
So it says, take a moment to think about someone you are angry at or those you cannot forgive, it might even be you. Then decide to let go of the anger weighing you down and forgive, or at least take steps towards extending the forgiveness. This doesn't mean your relationship has to continue. Sometimes forgiving is as simple as letting the person go. Try your best to start with a clean slate. That is so true. So, true story. Someone in the past really, really did me wrong. And I warned them before they did this, because they used to come back and tell me loads of stories about other people. And I did warn them before they did this. I was like, I'm the worst person for this situation to happen to. And lo and behold, they didn't heed my warning. And we ended up falling out. But not falling out in an obvious way, as in we had an argument or anything. They was just doing what they shouldn't have been doing. And I forget, I was like, oh, whatever, you do you. But I would not speak to that person again. Cut them off like a dead limb.
Okay, yeah. I understand, because it's not that you've not forgiven that situation, but you've recognised the character, and that just they're just not worthy, but they're not
worthy
to be part of within your circle.
Yeah,
because you've already forewarned, forearmed, but they didn't heed the warning as to the type of person that you were.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, that's cool.
You do
All's
you.
done. You do you, I do me, but we can't be friends anymore in that sense. And that's what it says there. It's as simple as just letting the person go, but letting them know that there's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
No hard feelings. You know what? Let's just start fresh, clean slate. You go your way, I go my way. But I'm not holding no animosity, no anger towards you. So that's it. Forgive the ones that hurt us. All right, because it even highlights the point that we possibly hurt ourselves.
Yeah.
In the interim of that as well.
And that's
right?
what I meant when I was saying about forgiving yourself, because sometimes the outward forgiveness is not deserving, if that makes sense. I know the concept behind this is to forgive everyone so you can move on, but some people don't deserve forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I hope people understand what I mean when I say that. But the ultimate person that needs to be forgiven in that situation is yourself, because it's you being able to release any anger, any frustration, any resentment you may hold against that person for said situation, but you're not pardoning them for what they've done.
Yeah. And what's the point of holding on? What's the point of holding on to the past? Like, just let it go. And just let it go on with the ether. Just let it free, because it frees you. Frees us from, again, like you said, holding on to that animosity, holding on to that anger, holding on to something that's not serving us. Yeah, so that's it there. Lead by example and teach forgiveness. So if we want to be forgiven, we have to forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it says it's good for our soul. Let others see how free and forgiving someone can be. Show everyone, especially children, that forgiveness is a quality to develop and hone in themselves and others. Your example of forgiveness can inspire others to do the same. And it's so true. So true.
But we tend to automatically teach that to children, whereas we don't abide by it ourselves. Like, for example, if the girls fall out, one of them hit the other one, I'd make the one that done the hitting say sorry, but the one that's receiving the sorry has to say, it's okay, and give a hug back. That's a form of forgiveness. So we do that with children.
Yeah.
But when it comes to us as adults, we don't deal with the situation straight away. We go off, we mull over it, we get angry over it, it gets worse and worse and worse. And then when you finally have to confront the situation, it's just so blown out of proportion that it's very, very hard to forgive.
And have you ever been in a situation where you had to forgive someone, right? And you've mulled over it and you've held it, and then obviously the approach, the time comes where the situation is faced, and it's like nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did I work myself up so much over that situation when it really was something so minor?
But I think that's a nature thing. Like, I know it's in my nature to pre-planned arguments in my head, in the sense that I work out what I'm going to say, what that person's going to say, and then you have that conflict in your head with every situation. And when it actually comes up, the person's like, yeah, it's cool, I wasn't bothered anyway. It's like, no, but I want this.
And that's the point. Us is again, it's taking the ego away from it as well, you know. And I always say this because our egos, that's what inflates the situation.
Yeah,
it really it blows things out proportion.
Really
like
does.
things that aren't there, like the snowball effect. Initially, a snowball's tiny, isn't it? But the more that it rolls in the snow is the bigger that it gets. And sometimes that's what it's like when we're mulling things over and overthinking is the right word or terminology to use there. So this is to have a forgiveness themed movie night. So that sounds rather interesting, doesn't it? You know, to have I guess it's films where people forgive. Can you think of any films like that? One of the biggest ones for me, I watched it years and years ago, was the Mel Gibson film about Jesus.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
That's not about forgiveness, it's about Jesus.
I know, but it was the way that he shot that, because he took the sins of the whole world upon him, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the forgiveness.
Yeah.
That was the Almighty saying, I forgive you and I'm making a sacrifice for everyone, and that's my son, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's ultimate forgiveness. Obviously, we're not God.
Yeah.
And we are human beings.
Because as a human, you'd be like, me, take on you. You can't carry it, yes.
See?
But yeah, I get what you mean. It is the ultimate demonstration of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And what makes matters worse in that situation is that person's constantly having to forgive us every day, every second of the day.
Rain upon the righteous and unrighteous. That's what it says. So 5 interesting facts about global forgiveness. Emotions can affect forgiveness.
Yep.
So what does that say?
Oh, brain scans show that the emotional centers of the brain light up when a person considers forgiving someone. Yeah, because it stirs up emotions in you.
Yeah.
You didn't need a brain scan to show that.
But it lights up. The fact, if it lights up, that means that that person considering it, their emotion does come up, but it's a good thing, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. I thought this fact was quite interesting, that cats aren't that forgiving.
No. And I agree with that. They go to where the food is better. Scientists say while many animals, including bonobos, mountain gorillas, chimps, goats and hyenas are capable of forgiveness, cats do not exhibit any such behaviour. Even though, I don't know, I feel like our cat's forgiven us for, casual is not the right word, but for like, you know, you knew to them.
Oh, did she have kittens? She did have
She
a
had
litter.
kittens, yeah.
My one didn't.
No.
So she's sadly. But so cats aren't that forgiving, or they don't exhibit such behaviour, as it says. And extroverts need more forgiving. That was an interesting
because they're
fact.
always doing things wrong. No, I agree with that. Not because they hurt people more, but because they're needing forgiveness is in their nature. Oh, okay, so yeah. Because they need to be loved by people because they want to be around people all the time.
Okay, so that's extroverts.
Yeah.
I think I'm a bit of both.
Because as an you can be an introverted extrovert, meaning that when you're out, you're fine, but you like to be in your own space.
Yeah.
Or you can be introverted where you just don't want to be around people all the time. You just want to be in your own space. Or you can be an extrovert who needs bodies next to them all the time.
That's tough.
Introverted extrovert where you're balanced.
Okay, so it's the balance, but it says extroverts need more forgiving. And
but I understand that.
More forgiveness for Americans. So that's quite interesting, wasn't it? These are facts, guys.
A survey by the non-profit FLAVAS Institute showed 65% of American adults said they needed more forgiveness in their personal lives. Oh, they needed more personal. Well, that makes sense. America's a very big continent.
But do you think sometimes we, again, go back to the overthinking, that we may feel that we've done things kind of untoward and we want God to forgive us, but it's not anything that's major that needs forgiveness as well? Because they're saying that 65% of Americans felt that they needed more forgiveness in their personal lives. Why?
Maybe they're doing things that they shouldn't.
Okay. And forgiving people fall ill less. Yeah. How amazing is that?
Holding on to less toxins. A
Yes.
study by the University of Wisconsin showed forgiving people suffered less from certain illnesses. I wonder if it's those illnesses that build up loads of mucus and
Cancer.
pus in the body.
It's holding. Sometimes when we hold anger, there is an actual scripture that speaks about holding on to anger, and it busts your vessel. I think that's a heart, so that can lead to things like heart attack.
Yeah.
When we hold on and don't let go, arthritis, I guess.
Stress.
There's a book, Stress, Anxiety. There's a book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And in the back of her book, it shows if we have certain issues within, like dis-ease within the body, it can often be down to how our emotions, how we react to things. So say if we had problems with the eyes, that's because we're not far-sighted. We don't want to be open to see certain things.
Yeah.
It's a really good book. It's actually You Can Heal Your Life, Louisa Hay, and it shows, you know, if we get back problems that we're not bendable, we're not, you know,
Not malleable.
yeah, and it shows you all different parts of the body in which, you know, we can heal just through action, that we can actually heal our lives by doing certain things. So tomorrow, not today, is National Forgiveness Day. And I mean, these are American. This is an American holiday as well. But I think they have the International Forgiveness Day as well. But it's always nice to highlight that. So what does Joyce say? Egotistical, attention-seeking forgiveness. Need to forgive oneself, called healing. Okay, so forgiving oneself, absolutely, Joy. It means that we are healing. And that's the most important thing that we really, I guess, want to observe, is that we are forgiving, we are letting go, and that we're not holding on to things. And by doing that, by not holding on, that we have, I guess, healthier lives and less stress, and that feeling of, you know, I can't explain it, you know, when you hold things.
A weight off your shoulder is lifted.
Yes, that's the point. That's the point. So we'll see y'all in 5. Sounds a little DC there. Free again, free again, free at last. I'm sure that Malcolm X said that, didn't he? Free at last, free at last. And yes, we'll be going into that a little bit later when we ask the questions, highlighting about how can we be happy with our bodies, and would you consider cosmetic surgery, as well as will racism ever be eliminated? So the day in history. Now, you know that we did play a song by Phyllis Hyman there. It's because today in history, Phyllis Hyman was born. And she was quite an amazing woman, actually, Leish.
Okay, I've never heard of her, I don't think.
But you knew the first song that I played?
I can only remember
You
the
Know
last
How
one.
to Love Me. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, you
Right.
know how to... Yeah, I do
That song. Yeah, so You Know How to Love Me. So she was born in Philadelphia to Philip Hyman, who was a World War II veteran, as well as her mother, who was Louise Hyman, who was a waitress at a local nightclub. She was raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and she was the eldest one of 7 children.
I like how they've named her. They've given both half the mum and the dad's name.
Phyllis. Oh, yeah. Really nice, isn't it?
Cute.
Yeah, so she started her music training when she received a music scholarship to attend Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, but she dropped out after 1 year there. She performed on a national tour with the group New Direction, and later she joined All the People while working with another group, the Hondo Beats. So she made her acting debut. Now, I didn't know she was an actress. I really didn't know she was an actress. In 1974 in a film called Lenny. So we'll have to check that.
Have to check that film out. Yeah,
Phyllis Hyman. And she also led a group called Phyllis Hyman and the PH Factor.
Love it. Oh, sorry.
It's amazing, isn't it? So Phyllis Hyman and the PH Factor. So she debuted a solo album named Phyllis Hyman, and that was released in 1977 on Buddha Records. And then Arista bought Buddha Records, so she was transferred to the new label. And there she released 4 albums. She's done a lot. A lot of work. So the albums were Somewhere in My Lifetime, 1979, You Know How to Love Me, 79. And also Can't We Fall in Love Again, 1981, and Goddess of Love, 83. That's 2 albums in 1 year. That's a lot of work, you know, because when you're going into the studio and recording...
Yeah, you got a lot. But then I guess back then, that's all they were doing. They were just recording religiously. So,
yeah, but it's amazing feat. 2 albums in one, and then 81 and then 83.
Yeah.
But she also performed on Broadway.
Amazing. I've always wanted to perform on Broadway.
Have you? I knew you like, what's that? The Chicago, that's the one. You sing some of those songs.
I love musicals, full stop. I love musicals.
What one's your favourite? Is Chicago
My favourite musical? I don't think Chicago's my favourite. I just like all the songs in Chicago.
Yeah.
I love one specific song out of the Moulin Rouge.
To Mama.
Oh, I love the Mama one. That's Mama Morton. She's the prison ward. I love musicals.
I've not seen Chicago before.
I love musicals. I would like to see. I haven't seen Thriller in the theatres.
Okay, is that Michael Jackson Thriller?
Yeah,
okay.
And I would like to see. What's the other one with the? Is it called We Will Rock You?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Is that with Freddie Mercury?
Yeah.
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 We Will Rock You.
But I'd love to see that in theatres.
Yeah. I wanted to book for the family to go to see Lion King. It was actually
so expensive.
It was cheaper to go to Spain.
Stop it!
It was cheaper to go to Spain than to go to the theatre.
But that's Lion King though. It's because the other ones aren't that expensive. We've seen Aladdin in theatres twice.
Yeah.
The first time was amazing. Second time was like, yeah, it's great. We've seen it already. But it's such a good production. And that was quite reasonable. It was quite reasonable.
Yeah. Well, Phyllis Hyman, she performed on Broadway, and they have a lot on Broadway because Broadway is in New York, right? Is that where Broadway is?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was on the stage. So as well as being an actress in film, she also was an actress in musicals on stage, which I think is amazing. So they played tribute for Duke Ellington for that work. And she received a Tony Award.
Amazing.
And nominated for the Best Supporting Actress in a Musical. And won a Theatre World Award for the Best Newcomer. Wow. See? So as well as the music, she was actually doing a lot when it comes to the acting.
Yeah.
This is a kick I found quite interesting as well, that she recorded a song, Never Say Never Again, for the James Bond movie. Yeah, but that was...
I haven't heard that one.
Because they didn't use it. They couldn't use the soundtrack for legal reasons. So that stars Sean Connery, Never Say Never Again. So that was quite interesting. Harlem. Oh, thank you, Joy. So Broadway is in Harlem. Okay, and I know a lot of the big...
Broadway's... Oh, Harlem's in New York, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been to Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Amazing.
Was it like all lit up?
So when I said I'd love to go to Broadway, I actually meant I'd love to perform.
Okay.
Because I have physically been there.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Theatres, a bit like Shaftesbury Avenue, is it? Like
a little bit like that. But I loved New York. So when I went, it was very, very busy. very, very lit up. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, wow.
One of the best places I've been to, I think.
So that's Harlem, and I know Harlem, they had a renaissance back in the 1920s, the Harlem Renaissance. That's where a lot of black people done lots of performance, and Oscar Michelle, a film director, came out from a lot of things. A lot of amazing artists, creatives were able to just show up, as we've seen already. We've looked at some other people, haven't
And they
we?
do actually have another musical that's just been released. I think it was last month, and that's based in Harlem. It's not called Harlem Nights, just ignore me, but it is based in Harlem.
Okay.
And it looks really good.
So it says that she also, so after doing the soundtrack for the James Bond movie, she released another album, Living All Alone, on the Philadelphia International label, and appeared in movies Too Scared to Scream. We got to check these movies out, guys. So that Too Scared to Scream was done in 1985, and that's Spike Lee's School Days in 1988, and The Kill Reflex. Oh, wow. We got to check out these movies. So Scream in 1985, Spike Lee's School Days. I think that's Spike Lee's School Days. The woman from My Wife and Kids. The wife, she's
Tisha
in it.
Campbell.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
a Spike Lee film that they're all in school. It's almost like a Grease kind of take.
Okay.
If my memory serves me well.
1988, that sounds
that's-
about right.
That's the film. So there was quite a lot of stars in that Spike Lee movie. So it's called Spike Lee's School Days. Tisha Campbell, yeah, she was in that, as well as The Kill Reflex. That was in 1989. So it says here that 91, Hyman released another album, Prime of My Life, on Philadelphia International, which was the biggest album of her career, and it included her first #1 R&B hit, as well as her Billboard Top 100 hit, Don't Wanna Change the World.
Goodness me.
I know, she'd done so much. Sadly, yeah. It said that on June 30th, so just gone, not long ago, that she committed suicide.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she overdosed just before she was due to go on stage and perform at the Apollo. So they found her unconscious in her bedroom. And, before she was meant to go on stage.
Apollo Theatre as well.
Apollo, night at the Apollo. Yeah, so she was only 45 when she died.
Wow.
But what a lot to do within that time. How many albums is that to date? At least 10 albums. She won awards. She was in films, Broadway. She done so much. Sadly, though, this is the point that she died. She suffered from bipolar disorder. A lot of those stars do.
And she was involved in alcohol and cocaine substance abuse.
Yeah.
It's almost like the what's it called? You know, when you dampen down, you're suffering, but you're trying to dampen it down by giving yourself uppers to keep going. And there just comes a point where you just can't.
It takes its
go
toll,
anymore.
doesn't it? It takes its toll. Like, you know, we feel that by using substances or alcohol or various things that it lifts us up. But in the long run, it's really, it doesn't help. And then you get addicted to these things, and then that's a whole other story. But she says she took, what was it? Pentobarbital and secobarbital. I don't know, what are the barbitals?
Don't know.
Okay,
I'm gonna Google them.
Are they painkillers or something? I don't know. But
No, they're not painkillers.
45 when she passed, and it says two of her albums were released posthumously. So, obviously, when she passed, I Refuse to Be Lonely and Forever with You. She was married once to her manager, Larry Alexander. So they got married in 1978, and divorced a few years afterwards. They had no children. And there is a biography by Jason A. Mitchell titled Strength of a Woman, the Phyllis Hyman story. So that might be really worth a good read. And it came out within that she liked both men and women.
She's bisexual. Yeah.
So it revealed that she was bisexual as well. So she was coping with a lot of maybe issues.
And
demons.
especially at those, in that time,
Yeah.
whereby it wasn't as glamorized, I'm going to use that word, as glamorized as it is now.
Yeah.
Being able to be free and open with your sexuality. Maybe people may have known back then, but it still wasn't
exposed was it?
as much, yeah.
Not like now everyone's doing whatever they're doing, but back then, like 70s, that must have been quite hard for her to deal with. But I know that there were quite a lot of bisexual, homosexual artists back in the day.
Must have been loads.
Yeah, but it was just all kept under cover because obviously...
It'd only just been legalised a couple of years before that, you've got to think. Because we was talking about this the other day, the same time the civil rights movements were happening, it was around that time that they started legalising non-heterosexual relationships, because before that was illegal.
Yeah.
So, especially she's American, so...
So it's only a recent thing, because I know back in the 80s, with the whole sort of AIDS epidemic, that it was this whole gay thing, and because gays were looked down upon, that they didn't care about the AIDS, because it was known as a gay...
It's a gay disease.
But really, at the end of the day, as we've spoken of on this show,
Yep.
That it isn't, and that... it's just not a gay disease that we all can, if we're not careful,
be a risk of.
Yes, at risk of catching.
And I did think it was this, a bit barbiturates. So pentobarbital and the other one, senobarbital. Secobarbital. They're both barbiturates, which are sedatives.
Oh, sedatives. Sleeping tablets.
Kind of, yeah.
Ah, so...
They're used, pentobarbital is used to cause you to fall asleep for surgery. It's used to treat insomnia. So, yeah, if you can't sleep, she's most probably having sleeping problems. And it's also used in emergencies to treat seizures.
But that can't help if you're taking something, say, like cocaine, because that lifts you up, right?
Yep.
So if you're taking something like that, those kind of tablets aren't really going to be that helpful, are they?
No. So when we teach about... what is it that we teach about? There's something we teach about. Sure, it's most probably sedatives, and it's talking about the difference. It's like a bus. You want to go. So cocaine and alcohol are go. Drugs, and then you're putting something in your body that's telling you slow down, chill out, relax, and it's almost like a collision of an explosion. You don't know which way you're going to go. Wow. So obviously if she's taken sleeping pills and then having uppers, she's not going to have the best outcome.
So there you go. Phyllis Hyman, an amazing woman. Check her out. And there was that book there that we spoke of in her biography that Jason A. Mitchell titled Strength of a Woman, the Phyllis Hyman story. So check Phyllis Hyman out. And we just played one of her tracks, didn't we? Amazing singer, amazing actress. And yes, kudos to her. She was born today. Okay, so on the 6th of July. Oh, 6th of July, Lily.
I know!
Scary!
Halfway through the year.
Yes.
It can only get better.
Always. So, our word of the day then today. Word of the day is to deter.
I feel like we've used this word before.
No, we've not done deter yet. Word of the day. Do you know what it means?
To stop, prevent, distract.
Yeah. Turn aside, discourage, prevent.
Inhibit.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I was going to take that road down there, but there was a deterrent in front of me, so I went the opposite direction.
No.
It's kind of right. A deterrent. It discouraged me from walking down that road, so I went left.
Well, I was deterred, but it's deter. We're using it with what they call it, extras on the end. Can't remember what the words are, but yeah, to turn aside. So I was walking in that direction, but seeing that group of boys over there, I was deterred to walk in the opposite,
You said
way.
deterred. You said deterred.
All right, so it's rooted in fear.
And look at how look at how we're describing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's borrowed into the English language around mid-16th century from Latin verb deterre, which in turn was transformed by combining de, meaning from or away, terre, frighten. Interesting. So it's rooted in fear from the Latin language. Yeah.
So she waved her finger in front of her face in order to deter her from behaving like that.
Yes. Brilliant.
I sounded like an English teacher
done.
just then, didn't I? I'm so sorry, guys.
Hey, so originally meant very bad or frightful, but these days you may be deterred. Oh yeah, so we did use it in the right context, and by something that frightens you. Yeah, or by something that simply causes you to think about difficult or unpleasant consequences if you continue. All right? So...
Painting to deter... Oh, yeah. Painting to deter rust. Does it deter rust, though, or does it just hide the problem?
No, because you can get rust paint, I guess, that deals with the issue.
Okay.
And brings it back to its former glory.
Niceness.
Yes. So
I like that word.
Yeah, deter. Build your vocabulary every single day, because the more that more words that we know, is the more that we can. I don't know. What would you say, Lily? The more words that we know is the more that we.
An expansive vocabulary will be useful at some point in your life.
Yeah, definitely. So get one word a day in your inbox. And yes, today the criminals are looking for easy targets. So removing valuable items from plain sight and making sure to lock your vehicle can be enough to deter a would-be thief. See you in 5. Big tune. You're there dancing in the seat there. Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on.
I like that song.
Oh yeah, so we're in the kind of rare groovy kind of soul mood tonight. Although we did start off the show with the look in the mirror motivation, because it always starts with us at the end of the day. So we look in the mirror, as well as a redemption song. And that song goes out to Joy McKay, who requested that we play that. And we played that at the top of the show, a song by Bob Marley, Redemption Song. The lyrics in that are so deep. We were discussing that yesterday. And yes, we do have to emancipate ourselves from that mental slavery. And as it says, we look in the mirror, none but ourselves can free our minds, right? So in line with that, Lily, we were looking, there is an opportunity that I've put into the chat box, because it's an event that's coming up very soon, and it's for young black men that are 16 to 24 years of age, because black men have the highest unemployment rate, that the government have actually put on this recruitment drive. So it's a 3-day recruitment drive, and it's designed to support individuals identifying as black and male. Okay, so please check that out in the chat box. It's an Eventbrite event that's happening. Well, it started from yesterday, Monday the 5th of July, today, as well as tomorrow. So you can still catch tomorrow's event, and just check it out. So one of the questions we were asking, Alicia, was how can we love our bodies? Yeah, how can we be happy with our bodies? And would you consider cosmetic surgery? What's your thoughts to that?
I'm going to answer the second one before I answer the first one.
Right.
I would.
Oh, wow.
Consider cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
But only for, like... I don't believe in BBLs, big butts and whatever. But I would get a suck and tuck.
Wow.
So take it from my tummy and put it in my boobs.
That's quite shocking. I didn't expect that from you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I've always said this, I don't think I will ever do it, but I've always said it. When I finish having my children, I would get a rejig.
Right. But can't you do that just by going to the gym, or is it just too hard to just go and work out?
No, I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm just like, I'm not happy with my weight. I need to go and do something about it. And it's not an easy fix. Like, you do an hour of cardio or whatever, and then you look at yourself and you're like, oh, it's not.
It's not like going to be like magic, is it?
Of course not.
Be...
So it's gradual. Whereas that's why people go for the cosmetic side. It's because maybe they have tried so hard and they've not got the result that they wanted, or they have tried really hard, they've lost the weight and they've got excess skin.
Yeah.
So I think in that instance, I do think cosmetic surgery would... I support it in that instance,
right, to
get rid, because things like that, you've gone from, what is it, £400 down to 200, for example, or 100, and you've lost all of that weight, but you've still got all of that excess to look at. That puts a downer in yourself. You think, what was the point in that?
The thing is, like, say if you did go and get it, like cosmetic surgery, and because of diet or whatever, you might still end up in that same position as initially going to get that nip and tuck.
I don't feel that people, once they've lost that much weight, though, I don't think many of them do end up back in the state that they were in the first place.
Is that through cosmetic surgery?
No, I mean, not people that have their stomach punched and then are told not to eat. No. I mean, someone who was £400 and worked out every single day, and the pounds dropped off. Yeah. But they're left with the excess skin that they need to get rid of. I don't think those kind of people go back to... I actually think they become more gym obsessed than anything else. Yeah. But it's not to say they don't love their body, because they love the effort that they've put in to get to a certain point. Yeah. But we can't judge that person for not wanting to live with all of the excess, if that makes sense. Just like women who have had children, who know what their body looked like before, go and get, you know, a tummy tuck and get their boobs looking like mum boobs again, because that made them feel a bit better. Yeah. I don't see them necessarily going back to the image before. However, I don't agree with 18-year-olds getting their boobs done. And their bum done. I had a very good friend at 18 go and get her boobs done. I remember saying to her, oh, you're going to have kids. Like, your body will develop. Yeah. And then if you want to make the decision thereafter. And no, she went and got herself propped up at 18. And they did the surgery. And I just thought, at 18, your body hasn't even finished developing yet.
That's quite scary, because the reason why this conversation sparked off is I saw this documentary and the woman was absolutely stunning. Did you get a chance to have a look at it?
I didn't get to watch it, no.
She was stunning, and I couldn't understand why she wanted a BBL, like you said. Yeah. That's a bum lift. It's a Brazilian bum lift, right? Yeah. That's what BBL stands for.
Basically, to look like you got a black woman's body.
Right. So, but she was mixed. She was like Mexican. I'm sure she was Mexican, or she had melanin. Let's put it that way. And she went to Mexico, and because it's cheaper. Yeah. This again is another point to the discussion, that people will go somewhere else because it's cheaper to get the work done as opposed to saving a few bucks.
I disagree with that.
But, what do you mean?
I disagree with them paying the cheaper price.
Right, because what happened was she ended up dead. She ended up dead. The guy punctured her lungs 5 times. And this doctor in Mexico, he had already killed 2 other women and defaced... when the sister stayed, she stayed in Mexico to try and bring this man to justice, because in Mexico they're very corrupt, and nothing has been done about it. Wow. So you see pictures of people that he's worked on. So one woman, she obviously went to get liposuction in her legs. He's left big dents of holes in this woman's body. I've seen things like that, yeah. And I mean, this is a downside that we're kind of looking at. But this woman was so beautiful, I didn't understand.
I think you have to understand what body dysmorphia is
Yes.
in order to understand why these people do this.
Yeah.
So we look at someone and think, oh, you're beautiful. Someone looks at you or me and says, oh my gosh, you're gorgeous. And you question them, because I've seen you do it. We went out the other day and a lady stopped you. She said, you are absolutely beautiful. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, you just, what? But you don't see what other people see when they look at you.
Yeah.
Whereas with people that suffer from dysmorphia, we will look at them and think you are gorgeous, but they look at themselves and there is always something that needs to be changed. Michael Jackson had it.
Yes.
There's always something that needs to be changed. And cosmetic surgery doesn't just start with liposuction, a tummy tuck and a nose job. It starts off with things like, oh, I need to get implants to make my teeth all look straight, or I need to get whitening. That's cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
You have to understand it. Is people look at these things as, oh, dentistry, for example. No, that's to do with your oral health. No, there is some forms of dentistry that are required, but other things are cosmetic.
Like a white filling, for instance.
A white filling is cosmetic because it looks better than the silver filling.
Yeah.
Getting veneers, that's like having false nails on your teeth that make all your teeth look pearly white and straight.
Yeah.
That's a cosmetic thing. Doesn't mean that underneath is healthy. And then that transpires to them going and getting the boob jobs and the liposuction.
The knock-on
and
effects of it all.
Do you understand? So it's about understanding how they see themselves as to why they keep on changing it.
Because there is a difference between plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery.
Yes.
So plastic surgery, that is used to repair and reconstruct missing or damaged tissue and skin. So on the NHS website, highlights if someone's had third-degree burns or really been
Missing
scarred.
ears and stuff.
Yes, cleft palate, all that stuff. Then they will do plastic surgery. However, cosmetic surgery, I guess that's the terminology we consider, because we've said that cosmetic surgery, would we consider it, is when we want the BBLs or we want the breast lifts or those kind of things. However, there is a downside to it. And you know, this woman, she lost her life as regards to it, and it was quite shocking. Like you say, we don't see what other people see, and that's the hardest part about it. What are your thoughts out there, listeners? How do you feel about your bodies, and can we actually be happy with our bodies without having to consider cosmetic surgery? Give us a call, 07895 134 713. What's that, Lily?
Nana Shirley said, Lily, I am shocked. I truly believed you had the same naturally, no knife, stay beautiful. So I am au natural, yes. But what I'm saying is the thought has crossed my mind. When you have children and things start going south side, like, I'm going to be honest, I miss my mum boobs. I miss them because they're not as full and voluptuous as they were before. But it's not to say that, you know, it troubles me so much that I need to have the surgery done. It is more of a one or I've considered it. I don't particularly think Jay would want me to do it, but...
And that's something you'd have to discuss with your partner if you
but
was
would
going
you?
to do. You'd have to, Leash.
Would you?
Yeah.
This is another part of the question then. Is my body, that's the question, is my body, can I do what I want with my body?
Wow. Your thoughts, listeners, 07895 134 713. I mean, I find going to the gym and working out, it is hard.
Yes.
It is very hard, and you've got to be consistent, you've got to be motivated, you have to be on it. And some days you just don't want to be on it. And, you know, it does get difficult in that regard. However, that maintenance, it helps your mindset, and you don't think, mind you, I do know people that I've met at the gym that have had surgery.
Yeah, but they have to maintain what they've had done.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I'd love to be that person that can wake up at 4:00 in the morning and go to the gym and then come back and start my day. But unfortunately, I like the little sleep that I get. And then by the time the end of the day comes, me personally, I feel so drained. The thought of going out and working out by myself, I am that person that needs a gym buddy.
Right.
I more than likely will go off and do it myself now because of how I'm feeling about myself. But that motivation to think, right, I'm going to do a solid hour of cardio or whatever.
Yeah.
Going and doing that on my own.
You were doing so well last year, though, Lily. When we were going out training.
I was, and then it got cold.
And then we drop off. Yeah, but you can't worry about the cold. This is a thing. And it's funny because I heard someone say in the week about if we want life easy, then you don't have to do the hard things in life. And if you want life hard, then we have to do the easy things in life. I think that's how it was. Maybe I've quoted. So if we want to be fit, for instance,
you have to do the hard things. Yeah, that's true.
But if we don't, it's easy. Sit down and watch Netflix. Binge out. Have 10 packets of crisps. You know.
I don't do this, by the way, people.
No. I'm not saying that you do, you know, but
no, I know.
That's just how it is, you know.
But I think as well, the cosmetic thing I've noticed seems to be a lot more focused nowadays on a particular type of look. So when you look on those Instagram models, that is not what their body looks like. And some of them will be open and honest and say, yes, I've had my waist cinched and I've had my BBL bum done and I've had a boob job. Some of them will be honest. Some of them will say, oh no, this is all natural. It's all the gym. No, it's not. Because your body can only naturally get to a certain point before that bum starts looking unnatural. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a certain makeup of body that can handle that concept, whereas there is another makeup of body that is built to be more slender, to be more slim, to be less muscular. And I am going to say it, I feel like a lot of the others are trying to look like black girls, because black girls have big boobs, big bum and big thighs and cinched waists. Because when you go and see a black girl work out, she more than likely can get that flat tummy and tone. But it's not the same the other way around. Look at the Kardashians. They're a clear example of...
Do you think they've done surgery? Have they had surgery?
Of course they've had surgery.
Okay. With the lips and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Lips done, bum done.
And there's a new thing with them drawing the line outside.
Yeah, to make the lips look bigger.
Yeah. So again...
And that's what makes me laugh, because when I was in school, I was called rubber lips. But now everyone wants lips that look like mine.
So is it the media then that would push that kind of aesthetic?
No, it's social. Yeah, it's social media.
Social media.
Because you're scrolling through, and now TikTok as well. You're scrolling through your timeline or whatever, and you're seeing all these perfect or so-called perfect looking bodies, not realizing that they're posing a certain way to make them look like that.
Yeah.
But also they've possibly Photoshop that picture as well.
Yeah, filters. I've seen some of the apps that you can do that on.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, and the filters. And I think there's something going on TikTok where they say just take a picture of your natural self.
Yeah. And see what.
Because no one really knows what anyone really looks like. And that's the sad thing. Or what if you had work done? You had work done, love. You know.
No.
Are you just?
It's quite sad. It is quite sad.
Because the only guarantee we have is we're going to get old. Well, hopefully. No, that's not even a guarantee, because young people pass.
Yeah.
Is that we are going to pass away.
Yeah.
That's a guarantee. So is that where the importance is
living
on
your life.
how we look, how we want others to perceive us? What is it? What is that all about?
To be fair, this generation now is more focused on what they look like.
Right.
Because that's what's making them money.
So you have external.
It is, yeah, because if you think of the people that are, I think there's one girl I got sent the other day, and she is basically a millionaire now, and she bought something like 3.4 million house purely based off of income that she has gotten from YouTube and Instagram.
And you can do that.
Yeah. But it's what you look like.
Right.
Tubby mums, maybe they're making the money, or is it because they got their children on there all the time and they're playing with them that's making them the money? It's the aesthetics for most that is making them the money. And that's why I think this generation is so focused on, because they have to be in front of the camera, they have to have that perfect look.
Yeah.
They are more prone to be the generation that are getting the cosmetic surgery done. And someone said it was 2 weeks ago, I saw it actually, and she was saying, guys, we need to stop this whole glamorizing BBLs, because they are not glamorous,
they're one
and
of
they're
the most
very dangerous.
That is, if any, is the most dangerous from this the documentary that I saw. Is the most dangerous cosmetic surgery that someone could have done. And like it said, this doctor in Mexico, he punctured the woman's lungs. He was really going in
But
there.
what was he doing? Giving her a boob job?
No, BBL.
Oh, so how did he get up to the lungs?
Right, because he was inexperienced. This is them going abroad for the cheaper option.
I just think, just do it. I know, and I've learned this being in the dental field. People come and they don't realise, oh yeah, I went and got my teeth done for £400. Yeah, implants that would cost £2,000 here. But you come here, no professional is going to touch that with a barge pole. The only thing they're going to do is take it out and put it back in.
Wow.
Because for one, you don't know what materials have been used. At least here, you know, okay, it's a titanium screw, it's expensive. Yeah. So you know you're paying for quality. You don't know what materials they're using. You don't know what their infection control is like. And then you're coming here and you want me to fix.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So that was Mexico. I think people go to Thailand. I've seen Lithuania as well. And
Yeah,
when
Turkey.
I typed in cosmetic surgery today, like the dangers of it, didn't really, kind of skipped over it. But then it was like people saying, "Oh, sign up, come to our surgery, come to our clinic." So there are, if you are going to go into that, really think very hard and fast about what the repercussions might be.
Yeah. I do think the first thing you need to do before you're going to go and get a tummy tuck, though, is go and have a colonic.
Oh, okay.
Is that cosmetic?
No, it's just having a detox, I guess.
Yeah.
More like having a detox. So Claire says, no, I'd never do anything to my body unless I really had to. Heather says, no, LOL, happy, too frightened, not waking up from general anaesthetic. And Vanessa says, I would consider, but probably too scared. I could write a list of what I'd like done, but I'll pass.
And this is the thing, it's fear that stops most. Because there's even a procedure a couple of years ago that I need to have. There's cosmetic surgery, it's not cosmetic, it's plastic surgery involved in that.
Yeah.
But just been putting it off out of fear.
Yeah. So you feel as if you need to, deter and go the opposite. Deter from having cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
Right? See y'all in 5. So, Lily, you were speaking before the break. We were talking about plastic surgery, and you spoke on how people, Caucasians, fear or want to have the aesthetic of a black person.
Yeah.
However, you mentioned that they don't want to kind of deal with the issues that black people face. And that's really leading into our next question. Will racism ever be eliminated in the sense of, it's a really tall ask, or quite a, not elaborate question, but do you think that racism will ever be eliminated?
No. I think there's too many, I'm sorry, I'm going to be blunt. I think there's too many different contributing factors that contribute to the reason why racial discrimination is always going to be there. And I know as black people we say, oh, we're the most discriminated against, which possibly that's true, but within our own self, until we understand, accept and do not contribute to the situation, there will always be racism towards black people. Within our own community we have colorism, so
yes,
I don't know why we're asking for Caucasians and other people to not treat us a certain way when there's still conflict between light skin and dark skin people.
Ourselves, And the reason why I asked this was that it was Mumra. She sent over this post, and it was all to do with the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, and this was done on March 21st, 2020, and it did actually highlight the countries that voted on this bill, and unbelievably, I'm just going to read you the point that was made. It said that, the UN introduced a bill that called for global action against racism and discrimination. So there was a voting summary, worldwide. So there was 106 yes votes, 44 abstained from voting, and non-votes, it was 29 countries. So all voting members, there was 193, and there was more than 100 countries that voted yes, okay? But this is the kicker.
Yes, to eliminate.
Yeah, to eliminate, or, the bill that called for global action against racism. However, the countries that voted against eliminating this racism and discrimination, can you have a guess of any of the countries that might have been included as to voting against?
UK, most probably.
Yep, UK was there. Any
the one
others?
country they say is not racist.
Yep.
US.
Yep, USA. So it was USA.
New Zealand.
Australia.
Yep.
Yep. Canada, Israel, France.
Canada's not its own country.
Well, they voted against
they
it.
don't
They are.
So they want to stay racist.
Yeah. France, Germany and the Netherlands. Major Europeans are no. Rest of the Europe abstained. So most of Europe didn't even vote. See, so this is a sad thing, because you said no, and a lot of people that answered that question on Facebook
said
no as well.
Because how are you going to? If you get rid of racism, you get rid of the idea that there's no supremism, and one nation will always feel supreme, higher than the other.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if many people will not agree, but I believe if there was not white supremacy, there'd be black supremacy.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always going to be this I'm better than you, for whatever reason you can come up with. How can we, like I said before, even within the black community, within the natural hair community, there's hairism, if that's a thing. No, she's not a 4C, she's a 4B, why does she want to be? Come on, God, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
And someone made a point on Facebook about, even it might be a white guy, two white guys, but because one's got ginger hair.
Yeah, the gingers are one of us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Someone asked the question, why do black people accept gingers so much? And it's because they're treated like we are.
Yeah.
It's us, the gingers, and Irish.
Yes, well,
basically.
No Irish, no dogs, no blacks. In whatever.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to deter from the point.
Oh dear.
Have you seen the advert?
What advert?
There is an advert. I'm going to have to find it. And it says it's about dog worms.
Dog worms, right.
And basically the advert is showing a black woman with worms coming out of her eyes. Like they're there. And it says, be careful of worms in dogs.
Wow.
It doesn't say be careful of worms in your dogs with a picture of a dog. It's got a picture of a black woman with worms coming out of her eyes. Be careful of worms in dogs. Now, if that isn't a subliminal, I don't know what is. And for that to have gone past different stages of acceptance, let's say it's just in the UK that's being advertised. UK people sat on a board and they all agreed that was acceptable for people to drive past.
Wow.
And see it on the train.
Wow. It's funny in you saying that, because when Little Madam was here with me, I think it was last week I noted it, Cocomelon. It's a little children's program, and again, there's no representation.
There's a little black child in that.
No, there's not enough representation, Lily. There's not enough representation, because I was walking. They was looking at all the dolls from around the world or something, and I was like, where's it? I kept thinking, where's the black one? Oh, right, there was the one little black girl one, but what about the black boy one? And is this prejudice? Is it racist, or is it just us looking for where we are?
It's about recognition, isn't it?
In society.
It's about recognition.
Yeah.
It's been, as much as I complained about Gen Z earlier, this generation is a lot more vocal on things that they see. And it's been brought up over and over again over the last couple of months about black discrimination, colorism, white people jumping on board things that are only made for black people. And everyone is being vocal about it.
Yeah.
But the people that, like that poll that you said that you've brought our attention to, it's the young people that are bringing attention to it, that don't have at the moment, they don't have any control of changing the situation. Yeah. And by the time they get to the point of changing the situation, have they been watered down so much to the point that they won't be able to do anything? Look at that man that was running for mayor. Have we heard? Not mayor. Yeah, it was mayor. The black...
young fellow, the young boy.
Drill star.
Oh,
Have we heard anything since then?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Because we get little bit of opportunity.
Oh, is that me coming through? Oh, we have a call coming through. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I was literally just listening into your show.
Yes.
I don't know, I just had a few points that I wanted to bring up.
Okay, what are those?
Yeah, so about your point on like colorism.
Yeah.
And being represented in mainstream media.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess I had a question for you two. Like, why do you feel that it's so important for these big brands and organizations to represent us?
Me personally, I don't feel that it's important. I feel that we need to put these things in our place ourselves. Yeah, we can't. I don't feel that, and this is again my opinion. So opinions don't really count. But if I'm speaking for myself, this is why me as an author, I write children's books that represent who I am. So my books are based on children in Black history. It highlights Black historical figures, and our children can see representation of themselves. Lily?
I agree with you to some extent, but when you're talking about seeing ourselves represented, I'm thinking of big corporations, for example, like one that I work for. A lot of us make the point that, we need to go off and start our own thing, which is a great thing to do, and I will always try my best to support that. However, why do we have to run from dealing with the problem? They have spent so many years picking and choosing and putting people in place that they want to put in place. And there are certain ones of us that are in positions now, because it's happening, there are certain ones of us that are in positions now where we can pick and choose. They don't like it, but we shouldn't care. Why are we running to start our own thing when there are people that want to stay in organizations and they want to be given opportunities? It's our place then to help those people elevate themselves in those places.
True, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Soy caller.
Yeah, and just to cut in as well, but even with that point, it's like expecting someone who doesn't care about you to care about you. Regardless if you're in a position or not to make change, it's still not yours to make change. You know what I'm saying?
But can we make a change then, listener?
Can we make a change?
Yeah, how can we make a change?
How can we make a change?
Yeah.
Realizing where the problem lies and what we need to do to fix it. I don't think we fully realize how severe or how deep the hole that we're in is.
Do you think the problem starts with us though?
It starts with us, and it starts with us going back and learning how the problem started, because it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
It's not just us. It's our parents and our parents' parents. Like, we have a lot of time to make up for. And it's like we've hit the ground running, but our shoelaces are tied. So we'll always trip, no matter how fast we try to run.
But the buck does stop with us, though, doesn't it? It does start as an individual thing.
Yeah.
And we got to build on that.
Yeah. I got one more question then for you as a listener. You know, when you said it starts from us looking back, going forward now, speaking of like our generation, and I'm assuming you sound quite young. I know, Jonas, you are. But going forward, we in our generations now are trying to put things in place for the coming generations. Do you think that's going to make a change? Because we are kind of unlearning and relearning processes. Do you think that will make a change going forward?
I think it's down to us not really having a choice. Like, if this doesn't work, nothing will. We'll just be stuck in the same cycle. So as long as we're trying and we're actually putting things in place for those who are coming after us, I think it will have a positive effect, like, no matter what. Because we've seen what happens when nobody's thinking of the other. Because that's why we're here in the position that we're in now, I guess.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Take care.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Take care.
And I think it's true. Thinking about what Jonas said, when you look back, way back, before slavery that they tell us is our history, way before then, we were rulers. Yeah. However, the scripture says man has dominated man and will continue to dominate man to their own injury. There is always someone that is at the top and there is always bottom feeders. And this is why I'm saying that racism itself as a concept, maybe not as an action, you know, so strong and apparent, but as a concept is not going to end, because there always needs to be somebody until the universe, God, Allah steps in. There's always going to be someone dominating the other person. Do you understand?
Yes,
so what we can take over and we can lead and whatnot. And someone made the point that, we're going to enslave white people when we get to that point.
It would still be slavery, though. It would still be that racism. It'd still be domination.
I don't ever think it's going to get to that point. What would we really enslave them for?
Can we just not live together in harmony, as not looking at colour but looking at who we are?
No, because colour is always going to be there.
As humanity and humankind, we all have to eat, sleep, shit. Sorry, I've said it. I know it's before Watershed, but we all have to do it.
We do. However, you have to see, people will always see colour. People will always see it, and the thing is, it doesn't even have to be colour. One person,
ginger hair,
one person can be jealous of a feature that you have. I love your eyes, I don't like you. Wow. It's that simple. Why do you think they hate us so much, but they got every treatment out there that they can use to become us, but not have to have the same treatment that we have? You can tan your skin, get your boobs done, get nice hips and a body like a black chick, get lips, draw them on so your lips look like mine, but people still know that you're white, so they'll still give you better opportunities that they give me. You want to be in a position of a black person to look like a black person and be treated sexy like a black person, but you will never have to deal with injustices that we face. And until the others understand that concept, because we need to stop telling them this and stop explaining to them, well, you need to no, they need to come to their own conclusion themselves.
They've not come to that conclusion till now, so how do we expect any change?
But this is what I'm saying. Until they come and say, okay, I understand I want to be you for these reasons, but I will never be able to deal with your issues and live the life you've lived. Until they come there, they will never know. Just because you was married to a black man and had black kids, or married to a black woman and had black children, does not mean you have lived a struggle. You've experienced her struggle or his struggle. You've seen the process, but you have not gone through that struggle.
And this is the thing, isn't it? Sort of, it is a them and us. And I hate hate that because for me, maybe I do have some underlying prejudices, and that I wouldn't like to think that I'm a racist person. However, we have this discussion. This is why something we don't talk on colour is matters, because sometimes it can get quite heated. Like the one question that I posed last week, it was a white woman that suggested that as regards to the fetishism when it comes to our black men.
Yep. Oh, did I miss that?
You did.
Whew.
And
I have a lot to say on that topic.
So because they were saying quite damning things, you know, and this was...
But that's a disregard for his mother. This is what they don't understand. It's you will take his assets, because let's be fair, this is most of the reason why they want you. You will take his assets, but you will disrespect the queen that brought him into this world.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do when they're like, well, if you were so good to him, why would he come to me? Don't do that.
Yeah. So it's quite sad. I mean, there's a lot of answers or questions, should I say, on Facebook, the post. It says racism is a mental illness with widespread societal denial, facilitated by education and media, and fueled by government who do everything they can to divide us and keep us looking at each other. I think that kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
Sorry,
That's
is
quite,
that
Carrie
Malcolm?
Lee.
Oh.
Carrie Lee said that.
Wow, that is such an amazing
I've not
point.
even seen some more
Amazing point.
Some more of these comments. Sonia says, I'm not giving up hopes, and when I observe my students, I think they're a lot further than we were, being very open-minded and tolerant towards everyone. So I believe in it. Is it tolerance? Tolerance is like, okay, because I know some other people that have commented made the point that they say someone's got a black friend and they're in your face, they'll love you up. But then when they go amongst their own people, they will just cuss out the whole black race. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they have the black friends so they can go back. I've got some stories. But they've got the black friends so they can go to the next black person that calls them a racist and say, I can't be black. I've got black friends.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Look at the woman that spoke about Georgina Floydina. She had black children. I'm sorry, she didn't have black. She had children of colour.
Yes.
Because I can't believe that they're still referring to us as colours.
Black and Cozy says, nope. Hate for others will always be a thing. And you brought that point out, didn't you? What does the 10x4 say, Lily? Because, this will be a discussion that will probably go on forever and ever and ever. But let's hope that we will see sense at some point.
Did you do what last week? I'm so sorry, guys. I wasn't here last week. To mark work.
And it's like 10 to 8. DJ Lara will be following me after from 8 till 10 tonight. Big up to all of the DJs, Allflavas. Please check the schedule and you'll see who's playing on what day, what time, and so forth, as well as the Facebook group too.
So I'm assuming we're on number 22.
Right.
And the point is, have a high level of motivation.
Okay.
Motivation refers to the act or state of being stimulated towards action. To succeed, it is critical that you be stimulated, excited, and driven to some action or actions. Although the definition of motivation suggests there's a reason behind the action, the study of successful people also makes it apparent that their high levels of activity are fueled by being goal-focused and mission-driven. And that is with a point, we can sit here and say no, racism isn't going to end.
Yeah.
But we still
motivation.
have to act and try and make it a better situation.
Pele highlights, he says, until we learn to love oneself, we will never be happy. We will never be happy. And as for racism, until each person, black, white or other, realise we are all of one spirit, not of what we see. How beautiful.
I agree, because I would say, there's obviously this Asian and black, what's the word? When you've got ally.
Right.
Yeah, they've become this allegiance. That's the word I'm looking
Okay.
for. The Asians are now supporters of blacks because they weren't before, but they're now coming under the people of color bracket.
Okay.
And it demonstrated to me that when someone starts understanding the issue, obviously it's happening to them, that's why they're understanding
Yeah.
it. But when someone starts understanding the issue, they
Where
can
you're coming
also
from.
be a vocal ally to you.
Yeah, because your partner's in joint association. That's what they call it, when young boys are together, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what it is because of the experience. And now, hey, this is on you.
Yeah.
The fun, yeah. I almost said something else, but that's for another time. Now, Joy said, as regards to the cosmetic surgery, most women do not ask permission. It's not up for discussion because they are in the zone. Even in marriage, their body is not for anyone but them. Sadly, no marriage is a one flesh situation that demands agreement. So, when we spoke earlier about asking or discussing with your partner if you were going to have surgery, you'd have to discuss it. But you was like, no, it's my body. I can do whatever with my body.
I was saying it as a devil's advocate. Obviously, you would, because you're going to have to go into the knife and they're going to have to probably take care of the children. But, yeah.
John Kent says race will always be an issue unless we change our mindset. And that is so true. Joy says, man to man is so unjust. Who do you trust? Well,
leave that question to the audience.
Yes, we leave that to you, beautiful people, because at the end of the day, as individuals, like we say, it lies in our laps to be that person that is not going to discriminate, that is going to have a sense of, inclusion, have a sense of, just not looking out, seeing what someone looks like and judging them based upon that.
And realise it's not a collective thing. I think racism is based on a collective of all black people, all white people. No, it's that one person that did you wrong that so happens to be of colour or not that has done the problem to you. But that's the accepting that they can't all be responsible for that one person's issue.
Yeah. And it is going back to that slavery situation that this thing happens, and it's still happening today. There's still people in Libya, still the Chinese still have slaves. The Emirates. They are. This is for another time as well, because this modern day slavery is so wide and apparent that that's something else that needs to be discussed. But racism, sadly, let's hope that we can see an end to it, and that we can just truly just love from the bottom of our hearts, and that forgiveness right at the top of the show, isn't it? Forgive. Like, the past is the past. Let's move on and start from here. Start from now. Let's start making that change and being the better and bigger person. Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, beautiful people. So thank you so much for tuning in. Give yourselves a nice round of applause, because you're always there supporting us, and we really, really do thank you so much for your company tonight. So follow me tonight will be DJ Laro from 8 till 10. Big high five to George Flavas, captain of this whole Allflavas Radio sessions and so forth. You're doing a really great thing for the